Hey, what's up? Cedric McMillan. Finally got to let you guys get another view into my youth program.
Name's Scott Grant. I'm the police chief here in Lancaster, South Carolina. And man, I'll tell you, when I first heard about this program, I was interested in it pretty much immediately. But there was so much going on in town, and we had a few things going on, and I wanted to give it some time to see if it was a real program, something that was going to continue, or if it was just maybe more of a short-term type deal. And so I watched it a couple weeks, and those couple weeks come into a month, maybe two, and I reached out to Cedric and just told him, hey, I really liked what he was doing, and I'd like for the police department to get involved, and I thought it'd be a good way for the officers to reach out to the kids in the community, and I thought that I knew we'd be able to help. I didn't know to what extent, because I didn't know enough about what was going on. As soon as I sent that email, within a minute, he's sending me an email back, and then he's calling me, and you could just tell, even over the phone, I'd never met the man, but over the phone, it was something that meant a lot to him, and he was very passionate about it. Well, I went out that evening to the first training session, and man, I don't know, within probably 2 minutes, I just knew that the police department had to be a part of this. I go up there, and I'm meeting the guys, and we're doing the introductory stuff, and during that, they speak to me a few seconds, and then they're calling all these kids. There's about 60 kids out on the field at this time, and they're calling them by their first name, and that hit me in the face, and I said, these guys really care about what they're doing, and I was watching how the kids were responding, and I said, we've got to be a part of this, And so we're talking, and one of the first things he tells me is, I don't know what we're going to do as winter gets here. It's going to get colder, it's going to get darker sooner, and every place we've tried to go indoors, it's just not worked out for us. And I told him, I kind of grinned, and I said, man, I think I can help you with that. I said, we have a training facility. He kind of looks at me, well, how big of a training facility? I said, about 33,000 square foot. And his eyes open up, his mouth opens up. He's like, man, you serious? And yeah, it's we could almost see it from here, And this big old joker just starts crying like a baby. And so, I'm standing there, and I ain't met the man, and he grabs me and hugs me, and when that man grabs you and hugs you, you just got to let it happen. There ain't really much you can do about it at that point. His wife comes over, and she's wanting to know why her husband's crying, and she's asking me all these questions, giving me the third degree. We took that idea there. I showed him some pictures. I just happened to have some pictures on my phone, and we started talking. And from then on, I just knew that we were going to be involved in this journey together, and that we were going to be able to make some good things happen for these kids.
night, let's see, about midnight, 11 p.m., midnight or so, I was in the bed trying to sleep, and I kept getting a thought, go to work, go to work. I had plans to start making some geometric shapes for the kids to be able to climb on, like an obstacle course. And this was one of the first ones I wanted to make because I knew it was going to be the hardest. So by 1 o'clock in the morning, I just couldn't ignore this sound. Kept saying, go to work, build it, build it, build it. So I got up 1 a.m. and started working on this. This was Sunday. And I think I finished this in about 12 hours. So after starting at 2 a.m., at about 2 p.m. I was finished. And this was something that I did right before I went to the airport to pick up Pepo so he could help me with the videos. So here we go. This is basically a climbing wall so the kids can use this rope, to stand on to be able to climb themselves up, right? Climb up, go to the other side, climb back down. It's better sometimes than just doing sports for the kids to learn how to use their body in different ways, So eventually I'm gonna close this in with some wood. But yeah, it can work right now. We have training tomorrow, so I haven't decided if we're gonna let the kids use it yet or if I wanna close it in first. But anyway, the hard part is done. And as you can see, I already got the wheels on it, so I can put it wherever I want. This is the classroom area we got. The outside walls was already built. It was just one big room. The police department used this as a fake classroom so they could train in case they needed to enter a classroom and clear it. So we organized, got the desks and stuff. As you can see, I made up some academic stuff for the kids, some written exams that they have to take, all that stuff. I got a teacher on the team now, so she come, of course, put her personal touch on it. I had to get on the internet, do a little bit of research to find some good stuff, some good worksheets for the kids to do. So when we actually train tomorrow, it'll be some kids in this classroom working. This is the kindergarten room. Once I closed this wall off, it was so I could build this room for kindergarten-sized kids. So 3, 4, 5 years old, they'll be in here. We just got these desks this weekend. So I got to make them all short. They're adjustable, so I make them all short for little kids. And then we got to get the chairs. So these will all be in a good position. Leave the back area open. We got a bookshelf back here. That's going to be a reading area for the kids. So, and of course, the teacher's position up front, whiteboard and all that stuff. But it's going to take a lot of work to get it finished, I know, but, it's a start, right?
So training went on, planning started immediately. It was the next day he's over and we're walking through the facility and he's just wide open. He's talking about this, talking about that, and we could just see that this was going to be a good fit. And of course, it's government. It's things don't always move as fast as you want them to move because they have to move through some committees and you got to move through the right channels. But the thought process never stopped. He flew out that weekend to Barcelona, and I'm sitting at my house on my back deck watching football, and he's texting me, burning me up. Hey, what do you think about this? I think we can do this. What do you think about this? And I'm thinking, what time is it in Barcelona? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And he's texting me about what we're going to do about building this thing and what do you think about this and all the things we got to do. But you just come to accept he's like that all the time. It's nothing for me to wake up in the morning and I'll have a text from 1 o'clock in the morning, clocking in, boss, going to get some work done. You know, we spend a lot of time. I've kind of learned that if he's not actively talking to me about the program, it's because he's over here building something. So I'll jump in the truck and come over here, and I'll catch him over here working. So, and we'll bang some stuff out together. But the man is just so passionate about this program, and it's infectious. It just trickles down, and the kids feel it. You know, you can fool some adults, and you can talk a little crap and talk around corners and snow some adults, but kids, they just know if you're for them or you're against them, and these kids just flock to him because they know how much he cares about them and their future. Conversations we have about where this program is going to go, and everything he does, all the money that comes straight out of his pocket. Even when I say, well, let me call this guy or talk to this guy, maybe there's a way we can do this. Well, you know what? That's not fast enough, so he just goes and buys it. The work, if when I would say work, I mean work. I mean hauling lumber, building things, cleaning up bathrooms that haven't been used in 20 years, making them not only serviceable, something that a child can actually use and it be appropriate and be okay. Just everything that's going through his head. We've built a library. We build these obstacles for the kids and the plans we have for the future and the curriculum that we want to get in place, and all that stuff is spinning around in his head all the time. And our part in this is we're able to provide this facility and be a part of that drive, and it's been infectious to my officers as well. I have officers that work a 12-hour shift. They get off at 6 o'clock, and they're doing everything they can to get over here in time for 6:30 training, and they're training on their own time. It's all volunteer stuff, and they just want to be a part of this because they know how important it is, and they know that it's coming from the heart. And we're just excited for where it's going to go.